Hi everyone, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name's Jimmy the Bag, my name is Peter Loshak. This is Loshak and the Bag show for Wednesday afternoon, May 16th. This will probably be a fun show because we have very little content to cover, of course. There was only 5 MLB games on the card tonight, and then one of them got canceled, right? The Yankees game got rained out. So we just got 4 MLB games to cover, and of course, the 2 playoff games, which should be good. So who knows? Maybe we will end the show early. Maybe we'll have some fun, some more fun than normal, and maybe things will diverge into unexpected territories never before been broached by the Loshak and the Bag show.
That sounds exciting.
Is it possible? I am. I'm dressing up like this a little bit. Look, if you want to be a winner, you got to look like a winner, right? This is what a winner looks like, right? My MLB record is I'm taking it, I'm playing with fire here with my MLB record, Jim. You had another winning day in the afternoon games. Very nicely done. Congratulations, Jimmy the Bag. Me, I had, you know what might happen with this show, that now that we have not that many games to cover, there might be a lot more time for me to whine and bitch and complain about the leans that I had that won, that I didn't give as official picks, that I should have given as official picks. We might have 5, 8, 10 minutes in a row of me just whining and neurosing and complaining, which you might at first glance might seem like not a great thing for this show, but actually the marketing people did some market research and they found that my whining actually enhances ratings.
I believe it. I love your whining.
Yes, my whining and bitching and neurosing in shows is correlated with an increase in viewership time.
Respect. I respect it. I'm looking forward to hear that.
That's just what the analytics say, Jim.
You don't have an annoying voice.
No, I know.
That helps.
No, it's my annoyingness comes from deep inside my soul. My voice is actually very pleasant to listen to. Yeah, it's the words that come from deep inside my soul that count as annoying. But again, it's 2018, and the only thing that matters is analytics. And the analytics say that me whining and bitching and complaining in shows about picks that I didn't give, that one that I wish I had given, is mildly correlated with viewer retention.
I like it. Well, let's start whining about Normal Nation. He gave us the LeBron point totals yesterday. I thought it was minus 112 was the first one, but then there was plus 200, plus 300, and there was at least 38, at least 42. He cashed them all, and he asked me how many did I cash, and the answer is zilch. 0. I didn't make that bet, and I wish I had of Normal Nation, but thank you for sending it to me. And Twadi Latte says Pete looks like a Vietnam vet on a job interview.
That's how I feel. Certainly is how I feel. I certainly do have PTSD, not necessarily from the bombs of the Gooks, but definitely I have PTSD. Need to try a little ayahuasca to cure that.
I told you, just half an hour away.
Yeah, a little
half
ayahuasca.
An hour away. I'm in.
Little DMT. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Jim Rome Zadouche says Pete on mushrooms guarantees rating increase.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Rome Zadouche. Shout out to all the great viewers and commenters. We're gonna have fun on today's show. All right. The first thing we're gonna do is just do a quick review of the afternoon games, and the first thing on the agenda for that is congratulations, Jimmy the Bag. 4 picks, 3 of them winners. Cleveland team total over, cashed. Toronto first 5 innings run line, cashed by a mile. Cincinnati, San Francisco with Doug Eddings behind the plate, and a lot of people seeing that and seeing Matt Harvey and thinking this is a great play on the under. Over 8, Jim took that one at minus 120. We line chopped for him. Winner. Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah, man. Trust the capping. Trust the work that we put into it. Melee Payless Way, 4-1 on the day, looking for Mo, and we're going to get it here. It's just, it's about us trusting ourselves. This group of cappers that we work with are the sharpest minds, and that's why I expect this MLB. All I wanted was a season beside Pete, and I mean it. All I wanted was a season beside Pete, and I did not realize when that was my dream how incredibly helpful this chat was going to be. Yes. And now I expect big results, and it's a little different than NHL, because in NHL, I really feel like I can do it. Just let me leave me alone. I can do it. But in baseball, I want us to do it. There's so many more numbers. There's so many more angles. There's so much more to discuss and break down. And I really, like Joe D says, trust the process.
Yes.
And I trust it.
Maybe you would make a good leader, Jimmy the Bag, because you have one trait that great leaders all have, which is they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, they rely on their strengths internally, and they rely on others to achieve what their weaknesses would not allow them to achieve on their own.
That sounds nice to me.
Very nice. Maybe you're a leader. Maybe you're a babyface leader instead of a babyface killer.
I know a good thing when I see one, and that's this chat, and that's working beside you.
So, Jimmy the Bag, once again, 3-0 in the afternoon show.
3-1.
3-1, sorry, right.
No
Your one loss was also an ignoring, though, of one of the great cappers in the chat, -110, Nostratoto, who seems to be pretty much blanket fading Arizona right now, saying that they're a wildly overvalued team. Jim did take them on the first half, and that was his one loss in the afternoon show. Me, I had a bunch of pushes. I took Philly-Baltimore second half under. That one pushed, but as everyone saw in the morning show, I also wanted to take the full game under. That went in my leans column. I did not take it, and that one cashed. So there you go. There's 15 seconds of whining and complaining right there.
Nice.
I had the White Sox second half money line, which I predicted a 1-zip win by the White Sox. It was a 1-zip loss by the White Sox. I had Detroit on the second half money line, which was close. If a +155 dog pushes, you probably made the right decision. And then I took St. Louis on the second half money line, which is also a push, looking like it was going to cash, and it didn't. And I've still got Milwaukee, Arizona second half under pending. But the one play that I really talked about a lot and asked for help with was the KC team total under. I liked it at 4.5. Did not have the balls to give it, so I put it in my leans category, and that one did cash. Unbelievable. And then the other one, I pointed out that after hearing your analysis, I was thinking, man, the Toronto Mets' first 5 innings total over must be a great bet. It was getting bet down, 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 down. It closed. The over was closed at 4 plus 120 at Pinnacle, and a bunch of other places had all dropped down to 3.5. And I was like, that's got to be a great bet. Didn't do it. Didn't have the balls. Now I'm whining and complaining about it. And, of course, that one cashed easily. And that was another game. That game, the total on that game, much like the San Francisco game, where we didn't understand the total with Lucchesi and whoever he was up against. Low total that got bet down. Same deal here. The total opened at like 8, got bet all the way down to 7 with Happ against Wheeler. Didn't make any sense. We got to start jumping on these, Jim. Obviously, the over was clearly the play on that one, right?
And Nostratoda saying that is by far his favorite over of the day was the Cardinals Twins. And God, he's an exceptional capper. And when he says it's his favorite play of the day, we should probably just blindly follow.
Yes, I was thinking about the under. As soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm freaking off of that one. Thank you very much, Nostratoda, for saving me a loss on that one, which I might, I probably would have had no balls on that one either and wouldn't have avoided the loss. But whatever. Anyway, the point is that it's kind of good that a lot of my leans in the morning did cash, didn't have the balls to give him. And if this Milwaukee, Arizona second half under can hold on, it's looking kind of good right now, then I will have broken even on the day. Jim will have bumped his record up a couple units, and overall that's not too bad, right, Jim?
Not too bad. I'm in a situation where I can pretty much only, if I lose my last 2 games, I have no additions yet. I'm not saying that I won't have them after we break games down, but I only have 2 games left on the card, so the worst I can do today is break even, which is a wonderful, wonderful place to be.
Here you go, Jimmy the Bag. Van Polo says post positions are released. When does the Preakness show come out, Jim?
We're going to film it tomorrow, and then Friday, because tomorrow there'll probably be a lack of games we could do, so we could break some down on the late show for sure when we have less to talk about. But like I said, like I predicted, Justify 2-5, and there's just no value there. Now, Normal Nation, I'm very excited to hear what Normal Nation, who he's going to, because he makes 2 big straight exactor bets with Justify two horses. I'm very excited to hear who he's got. I have a plan. I tell you what, I'm going to use a lot less money than I do in the Derby, and then Belmont's 3 weeks away, and if Justify wins again, we fade him. Even though Justify may be that magical horse, a Triple Crown possibility, we're going to fade the winner of the Derby and the Preakness every year for the rest of our lives and have a huge plus at the end of the end of our lives.
And for first-time viewers who are wondering why people are so eager to get Jimmy's opinion on the Preakness Stakes, Jimmy the Bag has been capping horses all of his life. Absolutely nailed the Kentucky Derby. That video's still up there, right?
Yeah.
The Kentucky Derby video. And in the video that you did as a standalone video, you gave Justify as your pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's just spectacular. When you watched him train, it was just American Pharaoh. And the way he just handled Bolt Doro in the Santa Anita Derby just said, listen, this is by far the best horse in the world. But the Derby, a lot of things can happen. He had that perfect spot on the 7th post, and horses beside him, 8, 9, and 10, were not going to go to the front, so he wasn't going to get pushed from that side. It was a perfect situation for him.
All right, let's before we get into MLB, let's just look at some of the early comments that might have handicapping implications here. Let's see. Where is it? King Rail said he likes Houston first to 15. That's an interesting one. Flipper 13 with a lot of comments in here. First time viewers might not be aware that Flipper came in here looking to slam the hell out of Jim and I, looking to troll us, which is totally fine.
Sure.
And lo and behold, what do you know? We won over a heart and mind. Huge shout out to Flipper 13, guy who's been around forever, and really, I'm most impressed with myself when I can win over those kinds of hearts and minds. You know what I'm saying?
No question. And Flipper 13 will be joining us in Las Vegas.
So Flipper 13 said, "Cool, I unloaded on -1. Let me see what he's talking about. He could be talking about the NHL game. He could be talking about an MLB game. Let's see. What did he unload -1 on? I can't find it. Can't see what he's referring to. Anyway, let's see other comments. I'm looking for early handicapping comments. Dave LA, because sometimes the very, very early comments, if they're handicapping related, we just missed them. Dave LA likes Rockets first quarter and first half. We're sure as hell. What's so funny?
Why he says that first he said that I ride a horse to work, but then he said that Jimmy snacks on hay.
Nice. Dave LA likes Rockets first quarter and first half. We will definitely be reviewing that game as well. Let me see. Some people saying great call on the Toronto winner. Nice job. Let me see what else do we have.
Wow, Flipper 13's on Houston first half. We know that King Rail likes Houston's race. I believe it's to 15.
Their first to 15. Yes.
Houston race to 15. Flipper
Wow.
likes Houston first half. I like them slowing the pace down. Actually, I haven't even taken a look at what that total line movement. Crazy that I haven't looked at it. What happened with that total?
And what's his name? What was I going to say? Dave LA likes first half and first quarter. I can check very quickly.
Oh, it's gone down.
The total's gone down. Yep. See, I jumped on it two ways. We will talk about that game a lot more. Yank Sky 30 says, I just got a haircut today. Nothing better than a fresh cut. I feel like a winner too, Pete. Yes, I hear you, Yank Sky 30. Look at this shit. My MLB record may be just plus up 1 unit, but at least I look like a winner, right? This is what a winner looks like. Take a fucking look. This is what a fucking winner looks like. Cocksuckers. All right, let's move on. Anthony L says, looks like Cook regression hit like a ton of bricks today in the D-backs game. Yeah, I mean, that he did have regression written all over it. That's why I did but you never exactly knew when it was going to come because the Brewers bats are not the kind of team that can push a guy if he's still a little bit on his game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No question.
So let's see other comments coming in. Brendan Cummings. Brandon Cummings says, I like the under in the first 5 innings in the Red Sox game. Does anyone agree? Sale whip is 0.9 and Cahill's whip is 0.96. We will talk about that game though. Cahill, a very hard guy to figure out, right? In his last start, he was just friggin' awesome. 12 strikeouts, just a great start. Then went on the DL briefly, and now is back. So we will talk about that one. That is pretty crazy. And here you go. Tony Soprano said who's on. Who won? We're gonna give another shout out to the only two guys were Brooks and Tony Soprano who had Vegas in game 2, and he says he likes $5,000 on the Vegas puck line. All right, we will talk about that one in the NHL segment. Let's see what else do we have here. Yeah, there you go. King Rail Rockets first to 15. A lot of people liking the Rockets early tonight.
I can't wait to watch that game. God damn.
Let's see. The 88 Nate says this show is legit. Thank you so much. He says I will tell all the homies to watch the 88 Nate. Shout out. Thank you so much. We love you. We fucking love you, Nate. The 88 Nate. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Let's see. Checking comments. You seeing any comments that are handicapping related?
Yeah, my man Searcy's on A's team total over 3 at plus 100. So he thinks Sale's going to get touched,
okay.
Justin Searcy.
Wow.
That's an interesting play. I'm really looking forward to hammering that. Paco Healy's going to be in Vegas.
Oh, very nice.
And it's his birthday weekend.
Very nice.
Oh, God, it's going to be so much fun.
King Art says we need more than 1 season of Pete and the Bag. SBR, please. Yes, Universe, please let this show never be canceled. Please let this show only end when one of us drops dead, and hopefully both at the exact same time. Pittsburgh Brew likes the Warriors minus. You like that one, Larry? You like that one? Larry's going to give his pick. He's behind the camera. Pittsburgh Brew likes the Warriors minus 6.5 at plus 225. I'll tell you what. It does seem. It just seems like the Rockets just don't have the horses to keep up with a healthy, full Warriors squad, and it does seem like taking the Warriors, they might lose a game unexpectedly, but it definitely seems like when they cover, they're going to be covering by margins, and it might be the right play to take them at like -8. Some of those alternative spreads. What do you think about that?
I do. I clearly they're the team, but a ton of people on our chat and a ton of people. They dislike Chris Paul. They don't think he steps up in big games. I expect Chris Paul to step up in this game. I expect him to slow the pace down and completely dictate the pace as much as possible. Now, we know that the Warriors are the transition demons. Simple. Slow the game down. Don't force anything and have the amount of turnovers you had in the first 2 series, which was the second lowest in the 41 years that they've been tracking the stat. So, to me, breaking that game down, I mean, it took a while for me to see it just because, I'm not that sharp. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's got to be it.
Yeah.
That has to be it.
It just feels to me like again, maybe Golden State doesn't get a win. Maybe there's a game where they lose, but it feels like, and obviously that was the case in the first game. It definitely feels like for the next 3 games that they win, that probably they cover all of those by a pretty healthy margin. Could be wrong, but it doesn't feel like they're going to sneak in with like a 1 or 2 point cover. It feels like when they win these games, they win comfortably, going away and by 8 or 10 points at least.
Yeah, interesting. Aegon Targaryen, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing, or Targaryen, excuse me. Aegon Targaryen says, Chris Paul sucks, but he doesn't just leave it at that. He says he can't dictate Harden's team. And that's a very interesting point because we saw them arguing. We've seen them argue. They're supposedly their best friends or very close friends, but we've seen them arguing this year, and we know that it's about pace.
Oh, look at this. Brant Hunt says, Pete is the only guy that can call all his viewers cocksuckers, and we will all be back tomorrow. Great comment, Brant. I wasn't calling you cocksuckers, but you know who else is like that? Danielle Bergoli. Remember? She was like, all these hoes laughing like something funny. And Dr. Phil was like, are you saying the viewers are hoes? And she was like, what I said. And bam, they're all coming back years and years and years later, right? Me and Danielle.
Years. She's 15.
She's 15,
it's
yeah.
Not
all right.
That many years.
Whatever, yeah. She's got a future ahead of her, Jimmy the Bag. The sky's the limit.
Future.
Bright future. Sky's the limit. Thank you so much for that comment.
It.
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know. I don't have it, though. I got something, but not that it. I got a different it, which is not good. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Comments coming in. Jose Ruiz, Rockets going to win this series. Shock the West. I don't know if he's trolling us or if he's serious.
Who says that?
Jose Ruiz. Rockets going to win the series.
You know what? This game will dictate everything. If they're going to win a game, if they're going to force this series or do anything, it's this game. So I like it. I like that Jose Ruiz says, obviously I get paid. I hedge, so I'm going to get paid unless the team from the East wins the conference, wins the championship. But I like that he thinks that.
Oh, shit.
I like that he thinks
Look
that.
at this. Pittsburgh Brew parlaying Warriors -6.5 plus 225 with Winnipeg -2 plus 551. Wow.
Wow. Say that again.
Parlaying Warriors -6.5 plus 225 with Winnipeg -2 plus 551. I don't know. I mean, I could see Winnipeg getting a. Winnipeg's have to win by 3 for that one to cash. You know what I'm saying? But still,
it's an exciting bet. And King Rail has two more. First of all, King Rail says it's not Paul. You guys, Harden doesn't play defense. It's going to be hard to slow the pace. But it's what Aegon was saying. It's up to CP3 to say, listen, I'm the point guard of this team. I'm going to dictate the pace that we run at. And Tomor, I've been thinking about the whole Votto situation, and you were right. It was just, it wasn't mean or anything. It was just stupid. Yeah. That's all. It was just stupid. I don't know why he would say something just so stupid. And that's not the first time he's kind of said dumb things. That's all. It was just stupid. It's not a big deal what he said about Canada, and nobody really cares. And I shouldn't have cared as much as I did, and I like that Max wanted to throw piss in his face. But you're right, Tomorrow. It's not a big deal. It's just dumb.
All right, 2 handicapping comments that have come in. Antoine Seymour, regular viewers should know that Antoine Seymour loves to post up player props in the NBA, tends to do well with them. He likes Durant solo over 29.5 points. Antoine Seymour likes Durant solo over 25.5 points. And yeah, it does seem like the one guy they just can't stop is Durant. Those isolations, they have no answer for it.
Yeah, Anil Frank says that was a great Dr. Phil voice on point. That was.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm not gonna hug you on camera, but I would love that. That would remember
when we dropped dead at the exact same time. That's when we'll be hugging.
She was like all these hoes laughing like something funny. Remember when she said that? You probably don't know the clip as
actually I did go back. I did go back.
She was like, all these hoes. All right, I won't do the impression again. But Antoine Seymour liking Durant solo over 29.5 points. Marcus Johnson. We're gonna give a big shout out to Marcus Johnson, who's been giving some. I don't know if I guess because his screen name is not like Lou Skunt or something, but he's been giving simulations that have been very, very accurate. Yeah, very accurate. Marcus Johnson likes the under 9.5 in the Atlanta game. Has a 72% simulation, a 70% value simulation at 67%. Marcus Johnson likes the under 9.5 in the Atlanta game. We will definitely talk about that one. Definitely talk about that one.
Yeah, and Mark Lewis wants us to get to the games. Rich
All right,
Banks
yes,
is telling him to
yes.
settle down.
Yes.
But Mark Lewis is right. It's time we should
Sorry about that. I don't even know where these minutes go.
I like Mark Lewis wanting us to get to the camping.
Yes.
I also like Rich Banks having our back. Those are two things I like.
Absolutely. All right, we got 4 games on the evening card. Obviously, the Yankees game got rained out. I guess, well, let's start with the Atlanta game. Marcus Johnson likes the under in the Atlanta game. Jimmy the Bag, that was the one game that you gave a pick on in the morning. You did take the Cubs. You got them at plus 101 at Pinnacle. Slight light move in your favor. The Cubs are now minus 102 at Pinnacle. And again, Marcus Johnson likes under 9.5 in this one, which is interesting in light of how bad McCarthy's been in his last 2 starts and how many legit control issues, road and home, Chatwood has been having. The total has also gotten bet up. In the morning show, it was heavily juiced to the under. Now it's heavily juiced to the over. Heritage already up at 10. Marcus Johnson liking the under 9.5. That is a very, very interesting prediction by Marcus Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously he believes in McCarthy. Mm-hmm. And I believe in Chatwood. Mm-hmm. I really do. And he thinks it's a very simple mechanics thing with the high walk rate. Mm-hmm. Madden agrees. You know, they gave him a $38 million 3-year contract. One of the simplicity of capping yesterday's Darvish game was just saying, look, Madden and these guys, you know, Epstein, these guys, they're very, very smart baseball minds. And they're not going to give these guys these giant contracts unless they truly believe in them. It's almost like they're doing the capping for us. And when everybody was going against Darvish, except for Noster Toda and Madden, then you had to think, wow, what side would you rather be on? So I believe in Chatwood moving forward. 3-0 with a 2.45 ERA in his last 4 starts. I believe the Braves are overrated, overvalued, and I was a very passionate rant about it yesterday. Just simply put, we've seen players like Albies and Acuna come up and do this. Now, Albies and Acuna look like they're very special players who will be in the league for a long time. But is there anything more difficult than the consistency and the continuity of a 162-game season in Major League Baseball? I don't think there is. It's just so difficult. It just never ends. And to imagine that that this Braves team, that Albies is going to hit 40 home runs this year is ridiculous. He's not.
In the meantime, a lot of people were agreeing with the Kevin Durant prop. Vivek Gowda likes Kevin Durant points over 29.5, and Igon Tagarian says Durant going for 45. And you definitely had a bunch of people agreeing on the Cubs. Sam's pick says Cubs all day, fellas. Jose Ruiz says let's go Cubs. What was that one? Braves in the over. Chris Garza likes Braves in the over. The king of all the chat, the entire king of chat, Gabriel Rodriguez is in the building. Shout out to Gabriel Rodriguez. Chris Garza says I like the Braves too.
And Garza deserves a shout out. Remember, he said, and we don't like using this word, but he said that Blue Jays are a lock in that for that early game. Blue Jays
I'll tell you
were
what.
a lock.
I mean, the way one game result, just the result of one game doesn't prove anything, but it sure does indicate a hell of a lot if you say a game's a lock and they win 12-1.
In fact, I followed him immediately on Twitter.
Who said that?
Chris Garza.
Jesus, Chris Garza. Nice call. Nice call.
And he says Braves going to stick it to you, Jim. You know, I don't think they are. I don't think they are. And McCarthy looks shaky. I like McCarthy. He's a vet. I think they are thankful to have him in the clubhouse and not too thankful to have him on the mound.
Shout out to Disa Pagos, who says, Saludos, Peter and Jimmy from Mexico. Congratulations. I like to see you. We like having you see us. Disa Pagos, thanks so much. All right. Point is that Jim is on the Cubs. Let's move on to another game. Let's try to cover all 4 of these games.
Wow. And Tomar says, I agree the Braves are overrated. I hammered the Nationals to win the division again today at minus 130. I know Tomar put money in my pocket by giving me the Cubs and giving me the Nationals. I wasn't thinking about those future bets at the time, and so he hammered them again. They're now Nationals to win the division at minus 130. I got them at plus 130, thanks to our man, Tomarino Tomar.
Very, very nice. All right, of the other 3 games, the one play that I'm closest to taking is the under in Dodgers and Miami. Obviously, it's Buehler against this guy Hernandez, who I think does have some promise here, and especially in a first start like this, we've seen this a lot. A lot of times these young guys come up, first few starts they're lights out, and then they start coming back to earth to various degrees. But Buehler had another great start last time out. Both of these lineups are very subpar, as we know. Hernandez, if we get a good start from him, this might be a great play on the under, maybe even first half under. What do you think? Dodgers, Miami.
Yeah. What is the first 5 under and full game under?
Full game 8, first half 4.
Dodgers have lost 5 straight. I thought the big news of having Turner and Forsythe back from the disabled list was going to show with the bats. It certainly did not. Turner did single in 4 at-bats. Forsythe went 0 for 4, 1 for 8 with a single. Not the boost I was hoping for. Buehler, 2-1, 1.64 ERA, 1.00 whip. He looks like the real deal. 27 Ks in 22 innings. His first career start was against the Marlins. Pitched 5 scoreless, and he didn't look as good as he's been looking now. I wonder if it helps that they've seen him. It's just 5 innings, probably not enough. Smith, though, is another pitcher I'd like in the top 10 in the National League with 53 strikeouts in just 39 2/3. He seems like it was a nice pickup off the Yankees. Dodgers can't hit lefties. Marlins can't hit anybody. Maybe the under is the best play to make on this game.
Barca Man says under 8-1 last 9 meetings in Miami. And Trung Ku says, yes, Pete, under in Dodgers, Miami. I urge you to do it, okay? Ulysses Hayes likes Miami under and the money line. Once again, it's not necessarily that I'm a fan of Miami, but that's such a huge underdog line. The Dodgers, I don't care who's pitching, should not be that big of a road favorite against even a crappy team.
You guys were so right about that yesterday. I felt like it was a pretty big mistake I made. I want to keep talking capping, but Rod Digga has come with a
did he?
With a comment that there's a story behind.
Really?
You
want me to read it?
I would love it.
Okay, Rod Digga. Shout out to Rod Digga from where is he? Originally from Senegal. Senegal. Moved to Boston. Moved back. Long story. Look, for first-time viewers, we're not going to review the story. Rod Digga says, "Very sorry for not being on here. Of course, you're forgiven. Forgiveness is one of the cornerstones of this show, as we all know. I was very upset with Late Night Person for calling gay person bad names. I was upset and complained, and he blocked me. Hello, him and Mr. Peter." Definitely a story behind that one.
That makes it sound like I'm him. I'm not him.
Yes.
I'm not the late night guy calling the gay person bad names. But
the grammar does implicate you. Yes, the grammar does implicate you. Yes,
it implicates me. It totally implicates me as being the late night guy calling gay persons bad names. I know that's not what Rod Digga meant.
Definitely a story behind this one. We're going to move on, though. Rod Digga, you're totally forgiven for not being on here. Great to have you back. And let's talk about whether I want to take the under. Lamont Williams says, Pete, take Miami money line, best underdog pick for the day. Yeah, I said the same thing yesterday. I was like, it's got to be a play with value. And I had those kinds of balls in other situations, taking Detroit as a big underdog, taking other big, ugly underdogs. But for some reason, I don't have the balls to take Miami as a big, ugly underdog, but I should.
And Kobe's been making a ton of cash off of them. And I'm the same way. You look at that lineup and you're like, how is this team supposed to win? Dark Kent says he thinks Caleb Smith is not pitching tonight.
No, he's not. I saw this guy, a youngster, a rookie, Eliezer Hernandez.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Well, that throws my my capping there out the window.
Not Caleb Smith.
Okay, wow.
Eliezer Hernandez. But I think that Hernandez is, at least for a couple of starts, maybe someone, especially against a weak lineup, someone that we want to expect, reasonable results from. Sorry, Rod Digga, but continuing with the story, I'll just quickly read it. He is very mean, and I am sad I missed Low Bag Show. I listen while fishing for mako shark for food. Once again, Rod Digga is in Senegal. He can cook the hell out of shark. Wanted to have dinner with me and Jim, eating some shark. I would have loved to have done that. We're going to move on again. This is a handicapping show. Hilarious. We love you, Rod Digga. What do we want to do about this under, Jim? And Jay Sandercott says, calm down, Rod Digga.
I can't do anything with this play now. I didn't. I should have been on top of this pitching change, and I wasn't. So I'm a little behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah, I think Hernandez is going to be okay, and I will. The big question, of course, is Buehler. Are we going to get another basically shutdown start for Buehler? I know you looked into that. What do you think?
I think Buehler's the real deal
for this game.
Oh, well, definitely for this game. And this Marlins lineup looks weak. He only saw them for 5 innings, and he was probably dealing with some nerves. It was his first ever start. 4 hits, 3 walks, struck out 5. I'm gonna have to leave this alone.
All right, I hope I don't get burned by this. I'm concerned that the line has moved from 7.5 up to 8. I'm going to take the under 8 minus 108 at Bet Online. I'm definitely concerned that all of my official picks are now getting into a pattern where they're mostly losing or questionable, and my leans that I don't have balls to give are cashing. But I'm going to take the under 8 here. Something seems fishy about this one. It has gotten bet from 7.5 up to 8, but I'll take under 8 at minus 108. And let me see what else we have. 2 very interesting games. Jimmy the Bag. Let's start with Oakland Boston. Starts at 7 o'clock. Obviously Cahill and Sale. I think we can assume Sale is going to be Sale again here. Cahill, not exactly sure what to expect from him. Once again, his last start before going on the DL briefly was awesome. 12 starts, no walks. Then he went on the DL. Now he's coming back, and people were suggesting a play on the under here, and I would not be taking Boston at this high of a line. I can't do it. Not going to be able to do it. What do you think about this game? I think it's going to be pass from me, Jim.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sale, his numbers are great. This Red Sox team's 11-12 since their 17-2 start, and I'm feeling like this is sort of the team that we're going to see this year. I don't see them as a dominant team. Mookie Betts certainly is maybe the best. He's not. Maybe Trout's still always going to be the best, but Mookie Betts certainly is a phenomenal ball player, and they have a nice pitching staff. But I don't think they're in the league with the Yankees. I think getting the division play I got on the Yankees was a steal. Wind blowing in at 8 miles per hour. What's Cahill going to give us? He's not a 2.25 ERA, 0.96 WHIP guy. 31 Ks through 24 innings, and then he goes out with an elbow injury. I'd be very concerned back in the A's, but you get so much value back in the A's, and they beat the Red Sox, 4 straight times?
Kent Davies says, we need to get you guys on ESPN, but then no more comment section. No. We'll go on ESPN with the comment section.
Yes.
If they say no comment section, we're out of there.
Yeah.
We're out of there. I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't give a fuck who they are. Comment section stays.
We will turn down ESPN, then we will die together hugging.
Absolutely.
In his last start, Toronto, 15 strikeouts Sale had. You know, 5 earned runs, 15 hits in his last 3 starts. He struck out 33 in 23 innings, but I still feel very comfortable taking him as such a big favorite. The A's only have a 224 combined batting average against Sale, but they hit lefties hard. You know, Mally Mal saying Boston's not getting swept. Anthony L saying Boston team total over. Maybe that's the play. I just don't I just don't believe in Cahill. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I don't think Cahill's nearly as good as his numbers indicate that he is.
Yeah. Tomarino Tomor says, Sale looks vulnerable here to me, but I can't back Cahill on the road in a hitter's park like Fenway. Kobe Valentine says, tough to call. I agree. Kind of leaning Oak money line, but hard for Boston to get swept. But minus 260 with anyone I will usually never take. And in this case, it's either take minus 1.5 Boston or pass. Dark Kent likes the first 5 under in Boston and Oakland, so he doesn't see Sale as particularly vulnerable and believes Cahill is going to be mostly fine.
Yeah, I
tough one.
It's a tough one, no question. I think if there was a play I'd make, it would be on the Boston team total over, which I'm only kind of lukewarm on. What would we get on the? And also, I'm loving Blake Trinan. I'm really impressed with the team the Athletics have put together. I think they're going to do damage down the line. And you guys know, I mean, I made the futures bets on them to win the division and win the league like almost a month ago. The Oakland team total over is just 2.5.
Great comments coming in here. Freddie Richards said, Sale, close your eyes and take it, Jim. Richard West, guy with some sneaky, very, very sharp opinions. Little under the radar. Richard West's great opinions. Recency bias will make you believe Boston won't get swept. Take the, and switches to all caps, value with Oakland.
Wow. That's wild. What are you getting on Oakland?
Well, you know, plus 220, 225. Let's do a little bit of a hypothetical line shopping right here at SBRodds.com. Heritage 228, Bookmaker 234. Bookmaker would be the best line right now for Oakland at plus 234.
Yeah, and Tomor talking about the bottom of the Red Sox lineup looking bad. No doubt about it. Wow. Twatty thinks your cut matches that beautiful blouse.
Oakland team total over. A lot of people are just are not feeling Sale tonight. He is off a high pitch count, but I mean, Sale is the kind of guy where pitch counts don't matter as much as maybe with other pitchers, but maybe they do. You know?
Jose Ruiz seeing in Oakland improve. They can beat anybody. They scary good. Plus money. Garza's on Oakland.
All right. Well, we can make decisions a little bit later on. Let's talk about another very interesting, maybe equally tough game. Houston against the Angels. Verlander against Richards. Obviously, Verlander absolutely rolling. At some point, the train will end. When? Tonight? I don't know. Feels like it's not likely to end right now. Richards pitching pretty well as well. Angels, pretty clearly a good team, but inferior to Houston, and they're a modest home dog here. What do you think, Jim?
Well, Carlos Escobedo says that he's selling blow, if anybody's interested.
Oh, very nice. Lovely. Wonderful.
Verlander versus Richards. I don't think Verlander is going to slow down much. I think he's going to win the Cy Young Award this year. He's just pitching nasty, and he's got great defense behind him. And that is just going to give him more and more confidence. Winds blowing out to right center at 9 miles per hour. Verlander made 3 starts in May, allowed a total of 2 runs over 20 innings. He's got a 1.21 ERA, 0.72 WHIP. He struck out 77 and 59 2/3. He's lowering his league-leading ERA, but He's 0 for 2 for the month. What's wrong with this Astros offense?
Yeah, they should be better, and I think there will be a month or two where they're absolutely explosive, putting up 8, 9, 10 runs a game back to back. No?
Yeah, that's like I expect that sort of too, but it just seems like it's been going on for a while here. So Verlander 3-0 against the Angels with a 0.82 ERA since he was traded to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those 2 starts he had at the end of last year were gorgeous, and they were against Garrett Richards.
Mm-hmm.
Before his trade to the Tigers, though, Verlander wasn't nearly as dominant. I'm very curious. Why is he all of a sudden easily the best pitcher in the league? It's very strange.
Verlander.
Yeah.
I mean, you want my first answer? It's a little juice here, a little juice there, 2 cc's, bam, you're done. Charlie Morton style. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah,
it happens.
No question. No question. Verlander has faced 11 current players for the Angels, and their batting average combined 128 against them. Mike Trout, 2 for 23 in his career, but both those hits were home runs. Richards 4-1, 4.08 ERA, 1.31 WHIP through 39 2/3, 49 Ks, 20 walks. He's had a great season other than that Yankees start where he just got lit up in an inning and a half. The Angels are giving him offense. They've scored at least 4 runs in 7 of his 8 starts. I really think that I have not planned on making a play here, but I do really like the value with the Angels here.
Tomarino Tomar says Verlander's velocity is way up from the first half of last year. So either he was injured first half of last year, or he's got a little extra help this year, a little trenbolone here, you know what I'm saying? A little synthol there, you know what I'm saying?
My man Max says they changed his delivery.
Bullshit. No, that's not what they changed. Changed something else.
Garza says Garrett Cole also on PEDs.
Yep, maybe. Charlie Morton definitely on PEDs. Go ahead.
Chung Koo says his supermodel girlfriend gave him the juice. I take whatever she's given, man.
Tom Reno says, Verlander changed his mechanics after the first half of last year. Look, I don't mean to be a complete cynic, but, you got to think what you got to think. All we have to care about is the results that he's getting, and he certainly it seems like we got to wait for him to have at least one bad start before we try to time when the train's gonna slow down, right?
I have both these guys in the baseball pool. I've watched them very closely, and I like obviously Verlander's easy, but I like the way Richards is throwing. If you take that one start out of it, he's having a great season.
Yeah.
And I still think he'll end up as the ace over Ohtani, personally. Let's see, what would we get?
Brendan Cummings likes the under in this game, which is kind of a no-brainer, as it was yesterday, and we didn't have the balls to take the first 5 innings under on that one.
Yeah, I just don't feel like, and look, you're only getting plus 117s, plus 120s on Garrett Richards. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't feel comfortable I don't see where the value is here. The total's gone down to 7.
Kobe Valentine with a quote from Verlander. God, Kobe Valentine has some real great comments. Says, overall, I don't think a lot changed, Verlander said when asked about his performance with Houston. I had core surgery in early 2014, and that took me a good year to get back from. I mean, okay, that's plausible, Surgery does take a long time, can take a long time to recover, and when you're playing at an elite level in professional sports, if you're not actually in peak performance at peak level, you're going to struggle. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's valid. Maybe that's valid.
Parlay Poppy tripling up on this. When someone like Parlay Poppy triples up on it, maybe you just got to jump with them. Angels team total under, Astros full game, and
first 5 under, 3.5. Wow. Okay, let's see. Maxwell Smart says, tell Pete to settle down. They changed the arm angle out of his delivery. Look it up. I'm not saying they didn't do that. I'm saying, is that one little adjustment maybe it is. Maybe that one little adjustment is,
Marcus Johnson loving the Angels plus 1.5 due to his value simulation. I get it. I don't see where the value play is. And I'm sitting here with a winning day staring me in the face, and I don't see why I'd make a move here on this game.
Okay, so Marcus Johnson thinks the Angels plus 1.5 might have some value. Kobe Valentine says Verlander came from a team in Detroit that didn't focus much on analytics. Houston's one of the top teams in analytics, and Verlander strives with analytics. Okay, nice comments, everyone. So as of right now, I did throw on the Miami under 8 minus 108. Makes me nervous because of the line movement, but I'll take it anyway. Jimmy the Bag is on the Cubs. Full game plus 101, and I think that's about it. Are you going to add any other plays?
No, not in MLB. I'm in a nice spot. We're gonna wake up to see my units have risen, and that makes me feel real good.
All right, sounds good. Let's move on to other events, shall we? Jimmy the Bag, shall we? Jimmy the Bag. I guess let's cover. What should we cover? Wait, let me find my.
Let's
my
cover the NBA. There's
NBA.
nothing more exciting than this game on the docket this evening.
Let's cover the NBA. Jimmy the Bag gave a great breakdown in the morning show. Explaining why he liked the under a good amount. A lot of people came in thinking that it was shrewd analysis, agreeing that they liked the under as well. And I wound up doubling up on it. Jim only took it on the full game. I took it full game and first half, and I suggested that maybe even the Houston team total under might be worth the play. And my question was just, they're going to slow it down, but is that going to be effective enough for them to get a win? They are a favorite here, and I was thinking that Golden State, despite Houston making whatever adjustments they're likely to make, might once again just be a good, in retrospect, no-brainer play, maybe even taking a -4.5, -6.5, as Pittsburgh Brew suggested. What do you think, Jim?
Well, I mean, clearly, if the Rockets are going to win any game in the series, it's right here in Game 2. And by winning Game 2, they'll get a shot at winning Game 5. And, the Rockets can play much better than they played in Game 1. But I don't know if it's enough to beat the Hamptons 5. And truly, it does feel like just blindly taking the Warriors every game, especially when you're getting a plus line, seems like a simple play.
Or blindly taking the Warriors at like -5.5 every game, doing something like that has value. You know what I'm saying?
No question. And Khalif Lee saying take Warriors, Loshak. I get it. Tomor says, I like Paul, but he's 33 and Gordon hasn't shot well all playoffs. Even if Houston slows the tempo down, I don't think they're good enough offensively. I'm on Golden State plus 1.5 and the under.
Yeah.
I really believe that Khalif Lee says Houston don't win, Jimmy. I really believe that Chris Paul is going to play well tonight. Whether or not it's going to change the outcome of the game too much, I think I think that Harden has to say, okay, you're right. What we tried in Game 1 didn't work. We have to try something different.
Right.
And clearly, to me, it was the transition buckets that were the difference in the game. And when you watch the game again, some of those turnovers were just because Rockets were just moving too quickly. They were speeding up. They were speeding things up where it almost felt like Chris Paul was saying, "Okay, fine, I'll speed it up." So I really like the under here. The market is all over the place with this total.
Yes, it is. It's headed down in some places, but 224.5 is still available at UWager, at BetMania. But Pinnacle down to 224, Bookmaker down to 223.5. So a bunch of places are significantly down from the morning line, from the line in the morning show. But other places have not yet moved for sure. Probably because they're taking money on the over. Probably because they're taking over money.
Yeah. Dark Kent saying Chris Paul has never been good in the playoffs. This is his opportunity to change what the naysayers feel about him. Rich Banks says, I like all of King Rail's NBA plays today. He's just an extremely sharp capper that we're lucky to have capping with us. Tomar says, I think Harden will pace himself after coming out strong in the first quarter and running out of steam late. That's another really good point. It did feel like he was exhausted there late in the game. That's a good point. I expect to see that as well. Kobe Valentine says, unders 4-0 Warriors last 4 road games, under 15-6 in Rockets last 21 home games, under 6-1 in last 7 meetings in Houston. Norm L believes the Warriors will sweep. Joshua Gray, Rockets first half, the best bet on this game. And Ulysses Hayes, my man Peanut, says Rockets will play shot for shot, won't slow the game down. Well, then they'll lose.
Yeah, right.
And I watched parts of this game twice, and I don't agree with you, Ulysses Hayes. I really don't. Even Dan Toney, who loves to speed up the pace, he has to say, listen,
right.
we got to go back to the drawing board. And that's why I'm down with the under. Now, I'm not going to double up on this play. And mainly because I'm really looking at my making sure that at the end of the year I'm plus units. And but Ulysses Hayes says take the over to 24. I really like my under here. I really believe in it. Parlay Poppy says, how do they win here? Chris Paul and Harden were very successful last game, and the rest of the damn team was a huge letdown. Curry didn't go off so well, but his Hampton 4 pulled it off. I can't see anything. Zigzag Man, he's with me here. I just think this is simple. What the Warriors did last game was exactly what they've done to Houston in the 3 games they played in the regular season. There was no difference. It's almost the identical effective field goal percentage.
Except they were healthier and had their full complement of studs in the lineup.
No question, but it was the exact same percentage of scoring, and I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any change in either team's offense.
All right, I'm going to triple up on this bitch. I'm going to triple up on it. Houston, team total under 113.5 minus 110 at Heritage right now. Team total under 113.5 minus 110. Yeah, I agree with you. If Houston pulls off some miracle and gets the win, it's probably because they slow things down and maybe they get a 104-101 win.
It's not a miracle. They're the favorite in this game.
Yes, they are. I know.
So it's just that we are we see this Warriors team as being unbelievably good, and I guess we're saying that what the chat is saying is that the market is behind how good these guys are healthy. Mm-hmm. Is that what we're saying?
Mm-hmm. The Truth Syrup says the truth LSRP says Golden State shot lights out last game. Unless you think Houston is getting swept 4-0, this should be a no-brainer. Houston wins this one.
I mean, I believe I'd have to go back over the stats, but I believe they were just 35% from 3. They did look good from 2, but I wouldn't call. I think they're going to shoot pretty much the exact same. Seriously said they shot nearly 60% from the field. Let me get those stats up here.
Justin seriously says, no way the Warriors play as well as they played last game. Okay. Why not?
Let me get to that.
What are you looking for, Jim?
I'm just going to go over those stats again.
Tom Reno says, I think this game will go down to the wire. I think Houston put too much pressure on themselves to win game 1. They should be better here. Yeah, and you know, if Houston is up at halftime, I think once again the no-brainer play is going to be on Golden State third quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it seems like it's always no-brainer play. They shot 52.5% from the field, the Warriors.
Alan Action says Warriors as dogs are a must-wager every time, anytime. Yeah, I missed out giving a second-half play on Boston in the last game, which I really like. And here is a similar situation. I think if this game is at all close at halftime, probably Warriors a third quarter is once again going to be a good play. Yes,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Luis Hernandez says the NBA, nobody has a clue who's going to win, can only get totals.
Mm-hmm.
And Farouk Islam says local radios are already talking about next year. I mean, we saw what happened after game 1 when our friend, who's not joined us in the chat, but the guy whom we love, Hako Schofield, Houston native, came on the show and said, "We give up.
Mm-hmm.
We already expect to be swept. Houston is sad." Remember he said that, how Houston is sad this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I don't think. I mean, come on. No, Drunk Conversation says Houston's ISO won't win.
Yeah, the 88 Nate says D'Antoni basically said he ain't changing shit. 60% of their play is ISO, and that's how they won 65 games. Just because he said it doesn't necessarily mean that's definitely what they're going to do, but, you know.
I would have said the exact same thing.
Right.
If I was going to completely go back to the drawing board, I would say that we're doing the exact same thing.
Right.
Khalif says Warriors are low-hanging fruit, and I understand why somebody would think that.
Here you go, Teddy B, who does have a history of some ballsy calls. Jim, Loshak Jim, Houston first quarter, my lock of the playoffs. Please, guys, show me love, okay? Teddy B loving Houston first quarter. Other people also expecting a hot start from Houston. Dave LA likes Houston first quarter and first half. King Rail likes Houston first to 15. So a lot of people saying that they're liking Houston early. And if that does in fact come to pass, once again, definitely if it's close, I think Golden State third quarter at halftime is another no-brainer play. And hopefully I'll be able to catch it and tweet it out and add it to my official record.
Yeah, we hope to get more tweets from you, in-game tweets.
Yes,
You're great with that,
yes.
no question about it. Walter Trotter, our man Walter Trotter, I believe he will also be in Vegas with us.
Oh shit, very nice.
Very nice. Golden State all day says too easy. I'm curious what Brad Stevens going to do with KD. I mean, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
He's Walter Trotter the third. What happened to the 3 Roman numerals? Walter Trotter the third.
He cut it, man.
Yeah.
Richard West.
Oh shit, Houston.
Right above, right below Randy Lockhart saying Houston wins.
Wow. Melvin Morrell says Warriors.
And Khalif Lee says Warriors third quarter, game under and full game. I wonder if doubling up on this is a play. Just gives me a fear even saying it. What is the first half total?
The first half total, well, I got it at 114.5, and there was some 115. There was some 115s available in the morning at. I got it 114.5 minus 103. Right now, no 115s, but we give you. You get the same line I got 114.5 minus 103 at Pinnacle.
I'm going to stick with this under 224.5. I'm just going to stick with the one play on
Okay.
it. But Nasty Nate coming in saying Warriors win by 19.
Wow. All right. So a lot of disagreement here, as you would expect. A lot of people suggesting that Houston is a good bet to a win here. More people than that suggesting that Houston early is a good bet. And, of course, a lot of other people saying Golden State just too good and that they are the play here. And definitely, if the game is close at halftime, I will very likely be on Golden State third quarter.
Yeah, and Baby Ray LA says Houston done. But then he says below it, take Houston first half. So this is going to be very, very interesting. And maybe Dark can. I think a couple notes. One is Allen Action. What he says, anytime you get the Warriors on a dog line, you should just take it blindly.
Right.
That is probably correct. And Dark Kent saying you have to be foolish to bet against the Warriors. Period. In saying all that. And Allen Action saying, I kind of hope Rockets do have a hot start, so then I can load up on the Warriors in game as bigger dogs.
Yeah,
I really believe that. Chris Paul is going to try to dictate the pace, and Harden. I like what Tomer said about Harden trying. He looked exhausted in the fourth quarter to try and conserve a little bit of his energy. So that's it. I'm on the under and comfortable doing it.
Okay, we'll wrap this up by saying, by reading Teddy B's comment, Loshak, if the Rockets do not win and cover the first quarter, I will send both you and Jim Vikings jerseys and $50 gift card to Starbucks. No, not necessary, Teddy B. Not necessary at all. These games are very, very hard to cap, and we have written it down that you like Rockets first quarter lock of the playoffs from Teddy B.
But Teddy B can fly to Vegas and hang with us.
Yes.
From August 24th, 27th. How about that? One thing we don't want. We want our money to grow.
Yes.
And use it to make your life better, and you don't need to spend it on us.
All right, let's move on to NHL. NHL, very interesting stuff in Game 2. Most people that we saw in chat were on Winnipeg. Two high-profile and notorious commenters, Brent Brooks and Tony Soprano, both liked Winnipeg, and they cashed with it. Nice call, guys. Jim, just as you predicted this morning, there was a big line move in favor of Winnipeg. You predicted it would come back. And it did. It did, Jimmy the Bag. Winnipeg was down to about plus 110 in the morning. Now there's been a 10-cent move back the other way. And even Intertops and other places that were all the way down to even money for Winnipeg. Now Intertops up to plus 115. The Greek was down at even money. Now they're up to plus 120. So I'll be damned. It came back the other way. Late money coming in back on Vegas after early money pushed this line way down. So clearly a U-shaped line movement here, a pretty pronounced U-shaped line move in this game. You had no pick this morning, did you, Jim?
I had no pick this morning, and the more I studied it, the more I think that it's a dangerous spot for the Jets. Knights at home. I do think the Jets are going to win one of these games. So, if you took the Jets both times at a plus 117 or plus 118, I think that you're going to win a small bit of change here. But I would prefer to take the Jets after the Knights win Game 3. And at this point, I've had a tough go in the playoffs. I did get the win with the Lightning to give me a little bit more confidence, but I'm hesitant to make a move here against. Now, we talked this morning about how great the Jets have been at home. How great the Jets have been on the road. 4 of their last 5, that only loss was in overtime to Nashville. They've outscored their opponents 21-9 in their last 5 playoff road games. That's the sign of a great hockey team. And I really think that it's different in the playoffs now, in the Western Conference Final, focusing on the game and not caring about Vegas. JK says that Vegas puck line is juicy. At this point, I'm going to stay off of it. I would say the play that might be a little bit more appealing is the over 5.5 when they're hanging at 5.5 against these two high-powered teams. But even that, I'm not going to jump on. What I expect to do is I kind of have a feeling that the Knights can win this game. If the Knights do win this game, I am going to take the Jets in Game 4.
Right. It does feel like these two home games are going to be that they're going to split them. It feels that way. You know what I'm saying? Vegas is just, the place is going to be electric. They've been getting, some favor from the refs all season long. Might happen again here. On the other hand, Winnipeg is such a deep team. They were great on the road against Nashville. Winning at Nashville repeatedly on the road is no easy feat. You know what I'm saying? So they can hang on the road with anyone. I don't care. I know Vegas is a good team. It's a great team. But, they're not like head and shoulders above everyone else. If Winnipeg can do what they did at Nashville on the road, even if Nashville was overrated, they can hang with anyone on the road on any given night, right?
Yeah, and Ulysses Hayes says you've been fading Vegas all year, which I've proven you wrong. I would like you to go back and see what I did, Ulysses, was I left a ton of money on the table.
You faded them a little bit.
I did, but if you look at the numbers, it wasn't like I didn't lose 10 units on fading Vegas. What I did was I didn't gain units by not jumping on them when you guys did.
You faded them a little bit.
I did. I got a couple puck lines against them too with the Devils when they went in there. We can go over all those numbers. And you'll see that I didn't fade them that much.
Yeah, no, I didn't say just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right, I hope everyone who bets this game cashes. I'm not touching it. I'm passing. Vegas is great. Winnipeg's great. Could go over. Could go under. First period, who knows? I'm passing.
King Rail says, Jimmy, stick to your gut. Stay off. We know you don't have any love for our Knights. I'm impressed. It's a magical run that they're on. And but you know what? Like, I just don't believe in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that you can take the best player left off every roster and then go win the Stanley Cup. I just don't believe in it. And I know a lot of people do, and that's great.
JP with an interesting comment. Jets are tired. They haven't had a lot of time off. They've only had one back-to-back nights off. You think the Jets are tired?
No, I don't think anybody's tired. When you go to Vegas for Game 3 of the Western Conference Final, I mean, right. It's just the most exciting thing that could possibly happen to a player who's played all his life in the dreaming of this moment. I think this is an extremely exciting hockey game, and I tell you what, if the Knights win Game 3, I'll be on the Jets in Game 4. If the Jets win Game 3, I'll be on the Knights in Game 4.
Yep.
And I think I'm gonna I'm not. If the Jets win Game 3, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do. But if the Knights win Game 3, I'll be on the Jets in Game 4, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Richie Incognito says, "I love the Jets, but not here." Jaja says, "Vegas, Vegas, Vegas win the series and cup. Mark my word." Teddy B loves the Vegas team total over, which would be just 2.5.
Yes, and that's been hitting, and that's been making Brooksy a lot of money and gaining him a lot of fans. He's been very sharp with that, and I'm goddamn like King and all you guys that are making money off Vegas. It makes me so happy. I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea.
Yeah, of course.
I just I've been gambling my whole life, and I don't believe in fairy tales. That's all.
The team total over right now for Vegas, 2.5 minus 155 at Heritage, 2.5 minus 149 at Pinnacle. What's your expectation for Hellebuck here on the road? You think that Vegas is going to be able to get held down, or?
Hellebuck, I love that his numbers are identical to the regular season. You know what you're going to get with this kid, and he's going to be focused. And I expect him to play well, but the Knights at home are very dangerous. They're very dangerous. And George Gallant's a great coach. George McPhee put a great team together. Ex-Canuck George McPhee. I'm going to watch this game. I'm going to stay off of it. But I tell you what, if the Vegas Knights win and you guys keep making money, that makes me so happy.
Yes.
And I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea.
JK says Brooks is on Vegas money line, team total over, and full game over. Huge shout out to JK for letting us know. I might just throw on the Vegas team total over here just to throw on another play here.
What is it? 2.5?
2.5 minus 149 at Pinnacle.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a nice spot. There's no doubt about it.
It does sound like if Winnipeg wins, could easily be a 4-3 win for Winnipeg, and the team total cashes anyway.
Yeah, and Eric Sniffen says, remember that guy a while back asked Jimmy if he should take Vegas to not win the Stanley Cup at like minus 1,000? Haha, you must be shitting if he bet it. It's our friend High Win. So he
Is that who it was?
So he can tell us if he took it or not. Listen, this has been a magical ride by this hockey team, and I don't think it ends, with James Neal holding the cup over his head. I just
Pittsburgh Brew, who's going to be taking a shot with the Jets, -2 at plus 550, says Jets are dangerous on the road. Ask Subban.
Yeah, I mean, well, we just went over their number. The Jets are unbelievable. I mean, look what Bridgestone Arena now. Vegas is as tough an arena to win it, and they proved that all season. Vegas was 29-10-2 at home, and Nashville was 28-9-4 at home. Very similar. In saying that, I mean, the Jets went in to Bridgestone and looked incredible. They won 11-3 in their final 2 games. So CC Fitness says Jets win 4-3. Khalif Lee on Vegas puck line. Freddie Richards saying under in Houston half-end game. I only took the full game, but Pete doubled up on it, and I can understand.
Which one? The Houston game?
Yeah.
No, I tripled up. I tripled up.
And
team total under, first half under, and full game under.
And High Wind says I'm not even worried. Listen, I just can't imagine them winning the cup. You know? I don't think High Wind's going to lose that money.
All right, what the hell? Let's make this interesting. I'll throw on the Vegas team total over. Could easily see a 4-3 win by Winnipeg. Could easily see Vegas losing and still cashing the team total over. I will take the Vegas team total over 2.5 minus 149. Once again, we have reports that Brooksy is on that one. Brooksy is on that one. Team total over. He also likes the full game over and the Vegas money line. I'm just going to go one play on this one. Vegas team total over 2.5 minus 141. Minus 149. Well, that's the current line at Pinnacle. We'll see how it turns out. You know, if it's 2-2 heading into OT, fine. Maybe I'll get an OT casher on that one. Brooks, once again, likes that play, like in Vegas here. Antoine Seymour says, Pete, if you had a free play, who would you take? Oh, my God. I guess I would take Vegas. I guess I would. But much more, I would take the Vegas team total over. And I am going to make that one an official pick. Team total over 2.5, minus 149. It's going to be a pass for you, Jim?
It's going to be a pass, but I can't tell you how excited I am about these 2 games tonight. What an absolute treat! I almost don't care about watching those baseball games. All I want to do is watch this basketball game, a hockey game, and I will have them on.
Justin Searcy likes the Jets team total over, and he likes the Jets money line, or Jets -1. So Justin Searcy expecting the Jets to have a strong offensive day here. And JP asking, what's Luscious Larry's pick? Do we have one from Luscious
Lumpy Nuts?
Yeah,
Lumpy Nuts is ready to do it.
How about that? Are we ready for that?
We're ready.
Luscious Larry, you ready?
I'm
ready? Okay, do what you got to do back there, and then come running on over here, fam. Come on, running on over here, fam. We are going to get Luscious Larry's premium pick of the future. Come on here. Remember, speaking to the microphone. Microphone technique is broadcasting 101. Here you go. Choose one. Speaking to one.
There we go.
There we go.
What's up, guys? 1 for 1. 1-1. 1 lost and 1 won. We're good.
I mean,
it's good.
You got hurt in Japan, but you took care of business with the Lightning.
I mean, I'm gonna stick with what I know. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Lightning to win again.
Okay,
minus 105 at BetMania. BetMania, we love you.
Okay, there you have it.
Going back to
Tampa.
the well.
All right.
Oh, Lumpy Nuts Larry going back to the well.
We will. Jimmy and I will certainly handicap that game ourselves tomorrow. But we already have a lucrative Larry's play of the future. Tampa Bay minus 110 for tomorrow. Thank you very much, lucrative Larry. And on that note, I think we can wrap it up, right?
I think we can. Twatty's wondering if that's a Hammer nightgown.
But once again, kudos to your improving microphone technique, lucrative Larry. It's a relatively short show today because we had relatively few games to cover. Thank you so much to everyone. Rod Digga, thank you. Welcome back, and we'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time.